Good morning, everyone. My name is Dharmendra Kumar, your English teacher, and today I am going to teach you this poem, Dust of Snow by Robert Frost. Who is the poet of this poem? Robert Frost. Okay, he is an American poet and he belongs to Romantic era of English literature. Okay, Dust of Snow by Robert Frost. You can see, just take a look, that the poem is very small in length. Though it's a very small in length, but it has a very deep meaning. The poem is very rich in its meaning. Okay, so just take a look, and I'm going to explain everything what is there into this poem. There are only two stanzas of this poem. You can see, just take a look, or if you have the textbook, you can just open this before you, so that you can understand better everything that I am going to explain into this video of mine. So how the poem opens up there, just take a look. Come to the stanza 1. There are only two stanzas of the poem. The way a crow shook down on me, the way a crow shook down on me, the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. This is what the poet is saying. Okay, the way a crow shook down on me, the dust of snow from a hemlock tree has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rode. Okay, we can just see that the poem is composed in a very simple language and very simple words are there. But as I have told you, that though the poem is written in a very simple language, and though it's a very small in length, but it contains in it a very deep meaning. Okay, a very important meaning, or we may say that it also passes a very good moral lesson to us. Dust of snow, the way a crow shook down on me. This is what the poet is saying. Okay, let me first of all here tell you that what is the scene and the setting of the poem. The setting of the poem is that the poet is there sitting under a hemlock tree because one day he was very sad. Okay, or you may say that he was in a very bad mood. He doesn't want to go anywhere, he doesn't want to do anything. Okay, because he was not at all happy. That is why he anyhow comes to a garden nearby, and he is sitting under a hemlock tree. What is the meaning of hemlock tree? Hemlock tree is a poisonous plant or a poisonous tree, we may say, with small white color flowers. Okay, so as the poet is sitting under that particular tree named hemlock tree, what happens there? There happens a very small incident. And what is that? Okay, it happens that there came a crow, and the crow, what he did, the crow came and sat down onto the top of the hemlock tree, and he shook down onto the poet's head some snow particles, okay, from above. That is what we call, the poet is saying, the dust of snow. Here the meaning of dust of snow is tiny particles of snow. Tiny particles of snow. This is what fell down from above. Where? On the poet's head. Okay, and as I have told you that he was not happy at all. He was in a very bad mood. Okay, today he was very sad. That is why he comes into the garden, and he was sitting under that hemlock tree, and this is where the incident took place. Which incident? The incident of coming of a crow and sitting down onto the top of the hemlock tree and falling of the tiny snow particles from above due to shaking of the branches of the hemlock tree by the crow. Come to the following stanza. Has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. So, has given my heart a change. What has given a change to the poet's heart? Okay, the poet is again in this following stanza talking about that very small and particular incident, the incident of coming of the crow sitting onto the hemlock tree, shaking of the branches of the tree, uh, and dropping the snow particle onto the uh, poet's head, that brought complete change into the poet's bad mood. Okay, this is what he is saying, has given my heart a complete change of mood. Means there came a complete change into the poet's mood. Means after that a small incident, what happens? The poet felt very good, or we may say that all his unhappiness and all his sadness were gone, and he felt very happy. He felt very comfortable and relaxed, and saved some part of a day I had rued. I had rued means I had regretted for, we may say. So again he is saying that this is how he was able to save some part of his day. Some part of his day means he intends to say here that if that incident had not taken place. Okay, listen very carefully here into these two lines of the poem. The poet intends to say that in the absence of that particular incident into the garden, he had not been able to save his day from destroying. He had not been able to save his day from getting destroyed. Okay, so it was that particular, or we may say that the small incident of the crow or the hemlock tree into the garden that made the poet able to save some part of his day. Otherwise his whole day may have gone wasted. Otherwise his whole day may have gone destroyed. This is what we may say. I hope you all have understood the poem. This is a very simple poem written in a very simple language. Actually, poems of any sorts have two meanings. Okay, one is literal meaning. So this is what I have explained you, that is the literal meaning of the poem, and the another is metaphorical meaning. Metaphorical meaning होता है मीन्स जो इसके वर्ड्स और लाइंस होते हैं, okay, they are represented as symbols. Okay, so I have just told you the meaning of crow, the meaning of hemlock tree, the meaning of heart of the poet's mood, coming into the garden, sitting under the hemlock tree. Okay, but you know, when I talk about the deeper meaning of the poem, then the deeper meaning of the poem is that we people must give due importance to all the things, all the objects, all the activities, or all the incidents, okay, irrespective of counting their greatness, or irrespective of thinking whether the objects or the incidents are small or the greater ones, because here the poet wants to convey that there is a great importance of even small things in our life. Okay, so we must give proper importance, due importance to each and everything, whether they are small or big. Okay, so what is very important into this poem, once again just take a look. Crow and hemlock tree. Okay, as I told you, the meaning of hemlock tree is a poisonous tree. Okay, and the crow is a black bird which is generally considered unauspicious. Okay, so these two elements are there. In fact, they are symbols. Okay, crow and hemlock tree are the symbols of negative energy. Okay, which the poet is talking about. Means here the poet is trying to convey that we have importance of even negative elements in our life. Okay, we have importance of even small things in our life, or we may say that we have importance of even things which are generally considered unauspicious. Okay, so here, as I told you, that the poet was very sad, he was in a very bad mood, but your things and the elements that brought complete change into the poet's mood, they were not some beautiful things, they were not beautiful flowers. Then what were those things or the objects? They were crow and hemlock tree, which are generally considered by the people as bad omen, as a bad omen, or we may say that they are considered as bad things or the bad objects. Okay, so I hope you all have understood the poem. Now let me talk about the rhyme scheme of the poem. Just look at all the rhyming words into stanza 1 first of all. Crow and snow, these two are the rhyming words. The two words are there rhyming with each other. And next are me and tree. These two words here, okay, are rhyming with each other. So let us how the rhyme scheme of this stanza 1 will be going on. Let us consider the crow and snow as A sound and next B and tree as B sound. So this way the rhyme scheme of stanza 1 will be A B A B. Come to next stanza here. Into the following stanza, what we notice, what we see here, the rhyming pair of words are heart and part and next mood and root. So let heart and part be considered the sound C, okay, and then next mood and root as sound D. So the rhyme scheme, if I talk about the overall rhyme scheme of the poem, then it will be A B A B C D C D. This is how the rhyme scheme of the poem will be going on. Okay, and then let me talk about some of the poetic devices that we have come across into the poem. First of all, the example of alliteration. Do you see any example of alliteration? In first stanza we don't have any poetic devices, I mean we don't have any example of alliteration here. We have the example of alliteration and it is in this the first line of stanza 2 and in the last second line. In second last line, has given my heart, and the other example of alliteration is there, saved some part, saved some part. Okay, so first of all let me tell you what is alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of consonant sounds in a close proximity, in a close proximity. Okay, or we may say that alliteration is the repetition of initial consonant sounds into two or more words in a line, or we may say in a close proximity. Look at this line, has given my heart, has given my heart. Here the ha sound is there being repeated, एक हा का sound यहाँ है and the other is there in this word heart में. ठीक है, इतना दूर का है तो ये चलेगा. So here we say that we may say that example of alliteration is there, heart has given me heart, has given my heart. Okay, here we get the example of alliteration. Another example of alliteration is there in this line, in last second line, saved some part. Okay, here the sa sound is there being repeated. So these two poetic devices and the rhyme scheme of the poem I have discussed. So I want you all to comprehend this poem once again, and if you have any doubt you can just ring on my number and you can ask. In next video I'll be discussing about all the question answers of this poem and about some more poetic devices here. Okay, thanks for watching everyone.